let's change gears to the third section of today's pod, which is the TikTok shops. Now that got crowd super excited. So Perry, you got a lot of feedback. Maybe you could kick us off on what it's all about.
So I can go a little bit deeper. It's actually something I've been researching and working in for a little bit of time now. Now with Australia, a really important thing to take note is TikTok shop is not open right now. They are looking to have it open in January. But one thing that Rafe and Graham, amazing guys from the Uptick, recommended is that this is the time right now to start looking at TikTok shop as a business, or just TikTok as a channel for your business. And one thing that I've been doing that has been amazing is, so with a couple of friends, we actually opened up a few accounts over in America and started testing out what type of content people are interested. So we used a website called KaloData, KALODATA.com. And what that shows is every single person who's selling a product on TikTok shop. And it shows you the videos that they did, which made the highest amount of sales. So if you're someone like me, you can go on there and just go, okay, which are the highest converting videos and how do I just replicate those? And so that's what we started doing. We started looking on there, started checking out which videos were doing best. And within 6 days, we made our first sale. Then that account got banned because we tested too many things and they didn't like that. So we opened another one and we made our first sale in 5 days. And that's what I try to explain to people when it comes down to TikTok shop. This is just America. The amount of benefit and potential there is for Australia, and it's not even open yet, is going to be second to none.
And it's not just TikTok shop, which is basically their online e-commerce platform. In other words, you can actually purchase direct through the site. It's for people that, as you said, there's not a TikTok shop is not open in Australia, but if you've got a brand and it could be from e-com, info services, whatever, it's a phenomenal lead generation model to drive traffic to your Shopify store, to your Amazon listing, to whatever it may be. And that was the big takeaway I got out of it as well. It's just the amount of traffic on there is incredible. And not just that, it's not just dancing kids now. Like you've got TikTok lawyer, you've got TikTok, like just said, bonkers, and the demographics now swinging a lot to people like us on the.
I think it was something like over 50% are over the age of 30 now.
Correct.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's a sin.
There's a big push. From these guys to go. Now's the time to grab your bit of real estate on TikTok, and don't think it's kids jumping around listening to dancing with wind shit in their hair.
Once that blew me away was that in the US there's over 9 million Amazon seller accounts. And in TikTok shop, there's only 37,000. So that just goes to show you how much growth there is to be had in TikTok shop.
Here's the crazy thing though, right, Eric? Because that was, when we talked about that before, that was probably like 5-6 months ago. That number's probably doubled or even quadrupled. So it's again saying time is now to be going on to these things. And you really made a great point. The beautiful thing about TikTok is it can actually completely remove the funnel approach, because what you're doing is you are in the discovery stage, but also immediately people don't actually need to leave the app anymore. They go, okay, you do a video, it says check the link below, you press it, and all of a sudden you buy the product within 5 seconds and it's coming to you in 2 to 3 days. It's completely changed the game. And I don't know if this is 100% yet, but there is news around that maybe Amazon or Microsoft are looking to buy TikTok in America because they need to have percentage owned by Americans. So
Controlled by Americans.
There's news about that.
To put it in perspective, when I was in the Amazon world, which is going back a few years now, but you said there was 35,000 TikTok shops?
That data, he said there was 37,000 and there was over 9 million Amazon seller centric accounts.
So when I was teaching Amazon, there were 3,000 applications a day to join Amazon as a seller. So what you're saying, a day. So what you're saying is that there's 10 days worth of Amazon applications that are actually TikTok shops, which is phenomenal.
And like Perry said, that's obviously...
It's increasing, even if it's double that. Yeah. It's still amazing.
Still.
The really critical thing that took me a minute to learn as a dummy about social media is this, about TikTok and why it's such an exciting opportunity for e-commerce people is this. Whereas like Eric, for example, is trying to build his socials, we're trying to build a YouTube, I'm trying to build my socials too, and we're trying to build a YouTube channel. It's really hard to start from zero and to get traction, right? Like we've been going a year here on YouTube, producing what I hope is reasonably good content. And we got 4,500 subs. And of those, we probably drove half of them just off our database and the other half has just sort of happened. So in a year, for all this effort, we maybe got 2,000 followers, right? Organically from YouTube. Wild guess, right? Could be, anyway. The thing about the TikTok algorithm that works differently is it's what they call a democratic algorithm, which means if you create a piece of content on TikTok, rather than it being dependent on how many followers you have as to how much viewership and how viral it's going to go, what TikTok does is grab that content and shows it to an audience around that intersection that are not your followers for free. And if it gets really good retention and engagement, it then amplifies that because TikTok doesn't care whether you've got a lot of followers or not. What it cares is if you create great content, which is determined by us testing it to a small group of users, we will shine a spotlight on it and blow that up for you because they don't care whether you're big or small. What they care is that you create content that engages their audience. That's a really big distinction because in the past, it's been so heartbreaking for people to start today on Instagram, like Eric's there with 2,000 followers and I've got 60,000 and you look at people with 1 million, you just go, oh, I know you're getting like 3 followers a day and 10 followers a day.
I think the big distinction there too, but everyone learned at the weekend as well, it's Instagram is polished content, whereas TikTok is raw as fuck, and the raw content converts a lot better, or as it gets more attention or eyeballs than the polish. So it's not that difficult to cut through, or at least be have some form of success with it. If you're not such yourself as a great public speaker, there's people in there that you can hardly even understand what they're talking about. So maybe I should give it a whirl.
What really surprised me is the percentages of people that are on TikTok that aren't on Instagram or aren't on Facebook or aren't on X. Those are very high percentages. I'm not going to repeat what those are.
30%, I think.
That was 30%? Yeah. And like, that's a lot of people that you think you're targeting and you're not. And it's one of those things. I talk to multiple people. Like I have very good friends, like Ange is an example, 130,000 Instagram followers. She's worked Instagram for quite some time. She's created a big set of raving fans. And I'm like, are you on TikTok? And she's like, nah, I just, this going down that rabbit hole. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, obviously I know you're not on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok because I still, even hearing all this stuff, right? There's still something in my head that's going, like, do you go on TikTok? Even though the data is there, the dancing kids is still in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
It's hard to get over that.
The important thing and it's something that Raf and I were talking about, TikTok is what they call backwards compatible. And what that means is that with TikTok, if it does well, the likeliness is it may work on Instagram, it may work on YouTube Shorts. However, with Instagram, if it works well on Instagram, there's less likely that it will work on TikTok. And so using that as the funnel point for other content is actually a very smart move. Because how many times do you see on Instagram and stuff the little TikTok sign, right? They don't have it on the other ones, but it's already out of mind. So it's an important thing to take into consideration.
There's not many videos on TikTok that you'll see the Instagram icon, is there?
The other thing he said, which was good, is that, and we've been teaching this in our private coaching group prior to the emergence of TikTok, was that the things that really make it viable, like testing whether your brand should be on TikTok. And he said the highly demonstrative, again, is so important. And he showed that video of a woman where she had a hand over one eye and really poor lighting that was sort of like down like this to show all her wrinkles. And she was clearly just shot on an iPhone. She goes, how old do you think I am? And like, really, like, I'm not trying to hide my age. How old do I look looking at this side of my face? And then she goes, covered that side and unveiled the other side where she'd used this cream that had tightened her skin. Now how old do I look? And that did like $500,000 in the first week and went completely viral because it's real. But it's demonstrative. You can see it.
But if with that point there about being demonstrative, and yes, it probably more leads to a product-based model, that lawyers, accountants, like, it's not just for e-commerce, not just for selling hats or whatever. And that's what blew me away, because I'm working on a project at the moment that's not demonstrative, it's a service, it's education. And so they'll be having a discussion with them about how you turn that into demonstrative content.
There's a guy, an Australian guy, who mows lawns, and he's got a massive following, and all he does is set up a hero cam. Is that what they're called? The little...
yeah.
What are they?
Just follows him along.
It just films it, and he does it in high speed, and he goes to somebody for free. He's got a really overgrown lawn, and he just cleans it up. And there's something so gratifying about watching this lawn just get mowed. And people, he's got like all these followers, and now he's got this huge lawn mowing business because he's just like showing the before and after of a lawn unmowed, a lawn mowed.
It's like power washing or gurning your driveway. You know, it's so satisfying, even for the person doing it. You're just seeing this line of just black, and it just
there's videos. There's actually big accounts on cars that do that, and they just clean the cars before and after.
So I just want to take a step back on the person who was doing the demonstrative where they were like this and this. So they are creators. They don't actually own the product, right? Those people are then connected to that product by just on the TikTok shop. They never even have to meet the person, right? They say, yes, I want to do this product. I will do videos. They normally buy the product themselves as well. They do a 30-second video. Potentially it blows up. They get 20% of whatever that product sells. So they make 500 grand. They make X amount from that, right?
Don't miss what you just said there. What Perry just said, you go into the TikTok shop as a seller.
Correct. And
you can connect directly with people who are indicating that we will make content for you in the TikTok shop.
Correct.
Not through an agency, not through what do they call it? A UGC agency, through TikTok. So you can basically get an army of creators once you're a seller on TikTok shop that are ready to go and demonstrate your videos in exchange. That's extraordinary.
It's crazy. There was a story of a lady. She had a bit of a following, obviously, on TikTok. She had a set of products. I believe it was like 4 or 5 products, and she did an hour live stream. Okay. Now I'll get into this in a second. She did an hour live stream. Guess how much she made in 1 hour? $1 million. $1 million from one product set.
Was there anything? Was she naked or hot or something? Or is it like...
Yes, she was hot.
Okay.
Yes, it was. She kind of had like a studio-esque setup, but it was, the videos, everything around it.
Yeah. He asked you 2 questions. Was she hot or was she naked? I want to know was she naked.
And was the OnlyFans link in there at the bottom?
No.
That's the product this
You're
time.
too generous. The reason I asked the question was because I wanted to know legit, because I'm trying to find, like, for young people listening to this who are at a loss as to how to beat 6% inflation, where should I be directing my attention? If because there are all kinds of really interesting, quirky people now that if you know it, like Eric gave a great talk on the
quirky people.
No, Eric, on Saturday, Eric made a great talk and he said, know what you are, know what you want not. Some people went to Saturday's property day and go, I'm Shannon, I'm Carson, I love real estate, I could do that. Other people go, I'm a bit quirky, but I'm really good on camera. This is a legit opportunity, like massive. If I had that ability to go and sit in home with no capital and could represent these brands like Nature's Pharmacy and create really compelling TikToks for Nature's Pharmacy, and I didn't need an audience to start with, but I could be creative, like the guys who are here today filming for us, 7XILs, right? If you want to follow these guys, at 7, number 7, XILLS. They're a great young Gold Coast videography company, and they've stepped in since Richard's left to help us out. These guys could have a department of their business where they're expert content creators, that they could create amazing TikToks for Nature's Pharmacy to take them an hour, and they could have 20% commission on an already hit product. And they don't need an audience for it.
Yeah, question.
Because it's a democratic algorithm. Like, I'm trying to connect the dots for you guys out there.
The question I have is, if they're on there and that goes viral as an example, and I'm one of the purchasers that purchased that product, if I keep on purchasing in the future, do I still get affiliate income, or is it a one-off?
It's so from that video, it will just be one purchase from that video.
Okay.
So it's a performance marketing based on that, but it touches on another basis. So we all know what QVC is, that live network, and you're talking to the camera, you're responding to people. There's a whole movement on TikTok at the moment where I'll just be holding the product. You just see my hands, right? And it's looking at the camera and I'm going, yeah, this product does this. It's amazing. And then someone's responding, does it do this? That's right. It can do that. However, it does. And people are making too much money just doing that on its own now.
I just think about it like my mom's retiring in March, right? And she's kind of like, what am I going to do? You know, I'm going to be bored. But this is a perfect example. Like, I mean, she's on Instagram and Facebook. Don't get me wrong. Instagram and Facebook. She's not the most tech savvy person. But let me tell you, if there was a way that she knows that she could make an extra $1,000 a week, you know.
Do you know how many people would relate to your mum?
Yeah.
Like that lady that was doing that eye thing.
Yeah.
If I'm doing the math right here, if she made $500,000 and you can tell, there's a piece of software they use called Callo Data.
Correct.
It's K-A-L-O, Callo Data.
Yeah.
That you can look at an ad and it'll tell you how much it did in sales on TikTok Shop.
Yep.
So if I'm correct here, if that lady's video did $500,000 in a week, she made $100,000.
Yeah.
Now,
If she's on a 20% commissions, but even 15%,
Call it 10.
Call it 10,
yeah,
50 grand.
right?
Oh my God.
People work a year for 50 grand.
For one video.
And she, no offense to the lady, she's not a model. Like she is an older lady, probably 60 with wrinkles. And that is why she made the money. Like your mum. Your mum's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I know she's watching the pod, so I'm getting some mum points here. But she's the only one. But Eric's mum will be watching this, and it's a legitimate opportunity for real people to make real money from real products.
Yeah.
But even if this one step further, if you're not great on camera to making the content to sell someone else's product, go use Callo Data, find out what's working, go find some influencers and become and just join the dot and sit right out in the middle.
Exactly.
And then you don't even need a product. You don't need to be the creator. You don't need to do anything. Just work out what's selling, work out, copy the content and improve it by 5%, as I said, and then go find products and just keep doing that. And so one of the biggest constraints with Amazon and all those and Shopify and whatnot is you could have a shit ton of capital tied up in inventory. Here you don't need any.
No.
And you probably end up with the same margin on fucking Amazon now anyway.
It's like an affiliate. Yeah, correct. You're probably better actually.
Yeah.
If it's 20%, you're better than most Amazon sellers.
Yeah.
So the affiliate marketing model, it's kind of affiliate marketing, but with the world's most addictive and fastest growing viral tools to help you create. And so I want to ask you, Perry, how do people connect with Raf and Graham? Because Raf and Graham are clients of ours and friends of ours. Graham's been a client of ours, and they are running a program called The Uptick. So THE, The Uptick, UPTIK, is it?
Yeah, correct.
The Uptick. And is there some deal or something if you're following the pod, or should they mention us? Or
Yeah, so we'll probably put a link in the description or something, but my recommendation, if you guys have a product and you want to get it launched onto TikTok, they are 100% the way to go. Look,
tell them that we sent you, because we'd like to know how many of you actually go over and connect with them. We're trying to get a sense of the traction that the pod gets. So tell them that you came from Unemployable Podcast, but if you've got a brand and you want to blow it up on TikTok, Raf and Graham are unbelievable.
Correct.
Raf's one of the best teachers I've seen in a lot. He actually was a school teacher, actually. But he's now blown up brand. He's done 2 Amazon exits. Really good.
He's super switched on. Like he's a marketing genius. He's really, really
He's working with us with our new consumer product.
Yeah, the questions he asked, like he pulled me inside at the dinner and he sits down and he's like, I got 3 questions for you. Right. And he sits there and he listens. Right. And I answer the questions and he's like, oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And then the following day, he sends me a message going, Eric, thank you so much for the event. Thank you so much for the weekend. Unbelievable, electric, yada, yada, yada. And he goes, just so you know, this is what I learned. And basically in the message said exactly, almost word for word, my answers to his questions. And he's like, and this is what I'm implementing. Thank you. I'm just like, no one has ever done that before.
Quality guy.
Yeah.
And Graham's amazing too.
Yeah.
So go look him up. Guys, that's the hour. Hopefully that's helpful for you watching at home or listening wherever you are. I like this format.
Yeah,
I really like it.
Yeah, it kind of puts a bit of focus and time on the sections.
Yeah.
and framework around it as well.
Yeah, lovely, yeah.
But what matters most is not what we think, it's what you think at home. So please drop a comment. Let us know, is this a better format? And we'll...
For the Friday pod.
For the Friday pods, yeah. Let us know.
I'll have to fly in every Friday then, or Tuesday. It's going to be shit show. Yeah. Talk on that after this.
Well, you're the face of Expedia. I'm sure you can sort something out.
Should we add that in somewhere?